a complete guide to learning how to shut your mouth and why it will change your life. Why learn to shut your mouth? In a noisy world full of opinions, debates, arguments, and non-stop content, learning to shut your mouth might seem like a weakness. But in truth, it is a hidden superpower. It's not about silencing your identity or suppressing your voice. It's about developing emotional intelligence, self-control, and wisdom. It's about mastering when to speak, what to say, and when silence is the most powerful answer. This guide explores how and why to learn this skill, and how it can drastically improve your relationships, success, inner peace, and self-respect. Understanding the power of silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is full of meaning. When you choose not to speak, you avoid unnecessary conflict, gain time to reflect, preserve energy, protect relationships, maintain your dignity. Silence often speaks louder than words. In some moments, your silence will say, "I know more than I'm saying," or "You're not worth my reaction." In high stress or emotional moments, silence can be the smartest move, especially when others expect you to explode. Why we speak too much. Before we can learn to be quiet, we must understand why we talk too much. To seek validation, we talk to feel seen or heard. To feel important, we think constant input makes us look smart. To control situations, we fear silence because it removes control. To escape discomfort, silence makes us face ourselves. To fill gaps, we feel silence is awkward, so we talk without value. Once you recognize these reasons, you can begin to resist the urge to speak just for the sake of speaking. When to shut your mouth. Here are moments when remaining silent is a sign of wisdom. 1. When you're angry. Words spoken in anger are weapons. Silence buys you time to calm down and often to say less or nothing later. 2. When someone is venting, people don't always need advice. They need a listener. Silence says, "I'm here. I respect your voice." 3. When you're unsure of the facts, it's better to stay silent than to spread false information. Silence protects your credibility. 4. During gossip, if someone is gossiping, don't join in. Don't even comment. Silence shows you're above that game. 5. When others are being loud in arguments, being the quiet one is often the most powerful. It shows control and maturity. The psychological and emotional benefits. 1. Self-mastery. Silence teaches you control. You no longer react to everything. You begin to respond only when necessary. 2. Better relationships. You avoid saying things you can't take back. You become a better listener, which deepens trust and connection. 3. Inner peace. Talking less means thinking more. You begin to live more intentionally and with less regret. 4. Respect. People start taking your words seriously. Why? Because you don't speak unnecessarily. Your silence gives your words weight. How to practice silence daily. First, pause before speaking. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it kind? Does it add value? 2. Use the 3-second rule. Before responding in any emotional moment, count to 3 in silence. It can completely shift your reaction. 3. Observe others in silence. Be present in meetings or conversations without always adding your input. Watch how much you learn. 4th, schedule moments of silence. Turn off your phone. Go for a walk. Sit in your room without distractions. Silence with yourself strengthens silence with others. 5. Don't speak to prove a point. Let your actions speak. Your success, kindness, and energy will say more than any words. Real-life stories that prove the power of silence. The employee who got promoted by listening. Sarah was an intern in a chaotic marketing firm. Everyone talked over each other in meetings. But Sarah listened. She took notes. She spoke only when she had something valuable to add. Within a year, she was promoted twice. Why? Because when Sarah spoke, people listened. Her silence gave her power. The husband who saved his marriage with silence. Jason and his wife had heated arguments every weekend. He used to argue back every time, until one day he chose silence. Not the kind of silence that punishes, but the kind that listens. It disarmed her. Over time, their arguments reduced. They started hearing each other again, all because one of them chose silence over ego. The teenager who stopped defending everything. Emma, a 17-year-old, always felt attacked by her parents. She argued every time. Then she started journaling her thoughts instead of shouting. She said less and listened more. Her parents began to listen too. Her silence changed the tone of their home. When you should not be silent. Let's be clear, silence isn't always the answer. You should not shut your mouth when you witness injustice or abuse. You're asked for truth that matters. Your mental health is suffering in silence. You're hiding from necessary confrontation. Your silence causes harm. Silence is powerful, but silence without courage can become cowardice. The key is wisdom, knowing when to be silent and when to speak with strength. Let silence be your strength. In a world where everyone is shouting, whispering is revolutionary. In a world that rewards noise, stillness becomes a superpower. To learn to shut your mouth is to learn. Patience over pride, listening over shouting, peace over noise, strength over reaction. Let your silence speak volumes. Let your silence protect your dignity. Let your silence be the reason people listen when you finally choose to speak. Never miss a chance to say nothing, because sometimes silence is the loudest statement you can make. Thanks for watching.